What if I told you that the most powerful pharmacy in the entire world isn't in a building, but it's actually right between your ears? It's true. Your mind has this incredible, scientifically proven power to heal your body. And today, we are going to unlock its secrets by diving deep into the science behind the placebo effect. It all starts with this one simple question that has just baffled scientists for ages. How on earth can something with absolutely no active ingredients, we're talking a literal sugar pill or a simple saline injection, how can that produce a real physical effect? How can a fake treatment make you genuinely feel better? That's the mystery we're unpacking. So to really get this, you need to know about the two sides of this coin. On one side, you've got the placebo, which comes from the Latin for "I will please." This is what happens when your positive belief in a treatment actually creates a real benefit. But it has this kind of evil twin, the nocebo, or "I will harm." And this is when negative expectations, like when you're warned about a ton of side effects, can actually make you feel them, even if the pill is totally inert. It's all part of what's called the expectation effect. So how in the world does this work? Well, it is not just all in your head in that dismissive way people say it. No way. This is a real biological process. The placebo effect is basically the key that unlocks your brain's very own fully stocked drug cabinet. It all comes down to a really powerful biochemical response. The moment you believe you're being treated, it sets off this incredible chain reaction in your brain. Your brain anticipates feeling better, so it starts making and releasing its own potent, custom-made drugs that are perfectly designed for your body. It's basically a self-fulfilling prophecy, written in the language of neurochemistry. So what exactly is in this amazing chemical cocktail? Well, first up, you've got endogenous opioids, like endorphins. You can just think of these as your body's personal supply of morphine. They're a huge player in placebo pain relief. Then there's dopamine. That's the reward and motivation molecule. It floods your brain when you expect something good, and that helps you focus on getting better. And finally, you've got serotonin, which helps regulate your mood and gives you that general sense of well-being that's so important for healing. And the sheer power of this is just wow. Get this. In studies with Parkinson's patients who have naturally low dopamine levels, when they were given a placebo they thought was medicine, their dopamine levels surged by over 200%. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's a chemical rush similar to what you'd get from a powerful drug like an amphetamine. This isn't some tiny little shift. It's a massive, measurable change in your brain chemistry, all kicked off by belief. Okay, but this is where it gets even more fascinating. It turns out not everyone responds to placebos the same way. In fact, your unique genetic code might be the thing that determines just how strong this effect is for you. And this brings us to a super cutting-edge field of science called the Placebome. Scientists are literally mapping out these specific genes that can make someone a high or a low placebo responder. So this isn't just some psychological quirk, it's a biological tendency that's written right into your DNA. Let's just look at one key player, a gene called COMT. Its job is to clear dopamine out of the brain. Now, one version of this gene, called MET/MET, breaks down dopamine really slowly, which means you have higher levels of it just hanging around. These people are sometimes called worriers, but they're also high placebo responders. The other version, VAL/VAL, clears dopamine super fast. These worriers are great at handling stress, but they're way less likely to feel the placebo effect. It's a perfect example of how our biology literally shapes our belief. The COMT gene is really just the tip of the iceberg. Scientists have found variations in genes tied to our opioid system, our endocannabinoid system, our serotonin system. All of them play a role in this placebome. It's this incredibly complex network that we are really only just starting to map out. So we have the brain's pharmacy, and we've got our own personal genetic wiring. But what's the trigger? What actually turns the key and unlocks all this incredible potential? Well, it's not just about the pill itself. It's about everything that surrounds it. The real power is in the healing ritual. Just think about it for a second. The whole context of being in a doctor's office, having an expert in a white coat who's empathetic and attentive, and then the physical act of getting that care. All of these things combine to send this incredibly powerful signal to your brain that says, hey, help is here, we can start healing now. And this really points to a huge shift in medical thinking. The doctor-patient relationship is in itself a form of treatment.
A doctor's empathy and the trust you have in them aren't just good bedside manner. Nope. They are active therapeutic ingredients that can directly kickstart the biology of the placebo effect. So this brings up a massive evolutionary question. I mean, if our bodies have this incredible ability to heal themselves, why does it seem like they wait for some kind of external signal, like a fake pill or a trip to the doctor? Why not just be healing at full power all the time? Well, the best theory we have is called the resource allocation hypothesis. The bottom line is this: healing is incredibly expensive for your body. Firing up a full-blown immune response or repairing damaged tissue takes a ton of energy. Energy our ancestors desperately needed for things like finding food or running from predators. So the body evolved to be smart about it.
And that's exactly where the placebo fits in. It acts as a safety signal. The whole ritual of treatment tells our ancient, energy-saving brain that things are good, conditions are right. It says, help is here, we're in a safe place, it is finally okay to spend that precious energy on getting better. The brain unlocks the pharmacy because it finally knows the coast is clear.
Understanding all this opens up a whole new frontier for medicine. If we can actually start to consciously use this powerful mind-body connection, what does that mean for how we treat illnesses in the future?
Okay, but here's the most mind-bending question of all. The whole effect seems to depend on believing it's real, right? So what happens if you take away the deception? What if a doctor looks you in the eye and says, here, this is a sugar pill, there's no medicine in it, but that it could still help you?
The answer, amazingly, is yes. A resounding yes. Welcome to the world of open-label placebos. These groundbreaking studies are showing that even when patients know full well they're taking an inactive pill, they can still experience major relief for things like IBS and chronic pain. It suggests the power of that healing ritual is so hardwired into our biology that it can work even when we're in on the secret.
And that just leaves us with this final, really powerful idea. We've established that the brain is our body's master pharmacist. The placebo effect isn't magic, it's just the key to that pharmacy. So the real question for the future of medicine isn't just about finding new drugs, it's about understanding our own minds. What happens when we finally learn how to write our own prescriptions?